We had just come from Homa Bay. Adui said it here. We had a wonderful function. Very successful Madaraka Day. It did not take 4 days. Did not take 5 days before a young man from Homa Bay by the name of Albert Ojwang found himself in the hands of rogue police who ended up murdering him.
The heat is turning up on President William Ruto following the mysterious and painful death of Albert Ojwang while in police custody. The storm is building fast and all eyes are now on Deputy Inspector General of Police Albert Lagat, who is at the center of the scandal.
Ningeomba kama mzazi, ikiwa Wakenya pia wananisikia, huyu bwana Lagat angewekwa ndani, aingizwe ndani korokoroni kama vile nasikia wale wenzake maafisa wa polisi walivyoingizwa ndani korokoroni, kwa sababu nchi yetu ya Kenya.
It started with a quiet arrest. Albert, a young man from Homa Bay, was picked from his rural home by officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI. He was ferried all the way to Nairobi, reportedly for questioning over a case linked to a social media post. What followed was not justice, it was death. Albert never returned home alive. His lifeless body was later discovered, with reports pointing to torture, injuries, and signs of strangulation. The man who had filed a case against Albert Ojwang was none other than DIG Lagat. He accused the young man of damaging his reputation and dragging his name into corruption allegations. Many are now asking, was this arrest personal? Was there a plan behind the scenes to silence a vocal critic? As these questions pile up, so does public anger. And this time, it's not just the usual critics making noise. Even leaders from within the system are speaking up. Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga used her Sunday's church appearance in Kisumu to strongly condemn the killing. She reminded the country that there was a promise made to end police killings and abuse of power. That promise, she said, has been broken.
And what I'd like to say has already been said. We want justice expedited. We don't want it by word. And we have seen people being taken, being arrested, being charged. What we want is to be told what Kenyans are looking for. Who orchestrated this murder? Who murdered this young man? For what reason was this young man murdered? And these people must be brought to book and must be brought to justice. This must happen.
Wanga's remarks were not polite church talks. They were a direct call for justice. She said her party, ODM, is now rethinking its cooperation with Ruto's government. The handshake deal between the opposition and the ruling coalition was meant to bring peace, unity, and reforms. But with young people dying in cells, that deal is hanging by a thread. ODM leaders are now warning that unless justice is served quickly, they might walk away from the truce. And it's not just political talk, there is action. Youth groups, civil society, and the wider public are planning demonstrations. Gen Z activists who led last year's protests are already back in the streets, calling for the immediate sacking of DIG Lagat. Social media is flooded with messages demanding accountability, and the hashtag Justice for Albert is spreading like wildfire.
Jana ile mambo ya yule kijana anaitwa Ojwang, nilimjua huyo kijana. Albert Ojwang alikuwa anafanya na timu yangu once in a while. Yesterday CCTV imetolewa from my hospital Mbagathi. What we want is justice. Haki itendeke. Haki itendeke. Na Your Excellency, nimefurahia tuliona kauli yako ambayo ulitoa. Let there be no sacred cow. By the time alipelekwa hospitali, his body was cold. He had been dead for hours. I know you do not agree with the cover-up. Kusikue na cover-up. Haki itende.
Ruto, who is already facing economic and political pressure, now finds himself in a tight corner. On one hand, firing Lagat will calm public anger and show leadership. On the other hand, Lagat is viewed as close to the system. Removing him could shake the foundation of the security establishment.
Na ikiwa kuna uchunguzi inafanywa, kwa nini mwingine awe ofisini na yeye ndio mshukiwa kesi ambayo inahusu kijana aliyeuawa kinyama inamgusa na ametajwa. Mbali na yeye, hata wale maaskari waliomchukua katika mahojiano wanaweza kusaidia, lakini hawezi kusaidia ikiwa wao wako ofisini, wako huru. Wanaweza
But the truth is, time is running out. Every day that Lagat remains in office adds fuel to the fire. The silence from State House so far has only deepened public suspicion. People want answers. Who ordered the arrest? Who tortured Albert? Why was he never taken to court if he was truly guilty of anything? And who will pay for the life lost?
And this we will say, I am sure even the President of the Republic of Kenya has said the same thing. Barbara Ilamolo Odinga has said the same thing. Everybody is looking for justice. Because I can assure you, there was no way anybody knew what was happening to the young man. Everybody wants to know what happened to this young man.
The Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA) has launched investigations, but Kenyans are growing impatient. Many see IPOA report as long, technical, and often ignored. They want a swift action. They want arrests, charges, and resignations.
And I would want to plead for caution on the part of leaders so that we do not have reckless talks that might jeopardize that, because we want everyone who is involved in criminal activities to be held accountable.
Ruto's government is now being watched closely. He ran on a platform of justice and fairness, but this case is putting that promise to the test. If he fails to act, it will open the floodgates of more unrest, more protests, and a bigger divide between the people and the state.
We are tired of Ruto. Ruto, we are tired of you. Tumechoka. Ruto must go. Lagat must go. Reject finance bill. That's what we are saying today.
The story of Albert Ojwang has become more than just a case of police abuse. It is now a symbol of the broken trust between the government and the people. The church, opposition, youth, and civil society are all on one side. They are demanding justice, and they are not backing down. For Ruto, the next step will define his leadership. Will he protect a senior officer accused of abuse, or will he stand with the people and act decisively? The country waits, the pressure builds, and the clock is ticking.
We had just come from Homa Bay. Adu is saying it here. We had a wonderful function. Very successful Madaraka Day. It did not take 4 days. Did not take 5 days before a young man from Homa Bay by the name of Albert Ojwang found himself in the hands of rogue police who ended up murdering him.